Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss problem 1039 of Leetcode. Let's just start. We are given a convex n-sided polygon where each vertex has an integer value. You're given an integer array values and values I is the value of ith index, ith vertex in clockwise order. And I think you've read the question, so I will just explain the question, not read the word, like not read word by word. So basically, we have to divide our polygons into set of triangles, and now you will calculate the score of those triangles. Okay, and how will you calculate? It's basically the values of the that index of that vertex of your triangle. Okay, so you will multiply all the vertices of your triangle and add and consider it as a score of that triangle. So finally you will add all the scores and that will be your final score. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Now you want to minimize this. So how can you do it? Okay, uh, let me ask you one thing. Basically, you have to do multiplication of three uh, random numbers, and finally you have to add it to your score. Okay. So what if I just permute all the values? Like, how can this be done? It can be 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 3, 2. So basically, this is a triangle, polygon of length 3. So we can just create one triangle. So its score will be 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, no matter how you permute it. But let's say that we have a value n which is 50. So there will be 50 factorial ways to permute it. And do you think that computer can handle such operations? No. So what options we are left with? We'll have to, you know, apply some greedy technique, or if even if greedy technique is not working, then maybe we will realize that we will have to use DP. Okay, so that's how we will proceed. And guess what? Actually, I was applying greedy technique only. What I was thinking at starting when I was, reading this question, I will permute all values of this array. Okay, and I will have like n factorial ways to permute. Now, finally, I will do multiplication in order wise. For example, I into I plus 1 into I plus 2 plus I plus 1 into I plus 2 into I plus 3 plus I plus 2 into I plus 3 into I plus 4 plus and so on. Okay. So first you multiply these and then these and then the other three. Okay. And you add all those values and that will be your final score for one such permutation. And after having scores of all those permutation, you will have to have the minimum score of every, like you will have score of your permutation, each permutation. So minimum of those will be your final score. And that was my idea at starting, but then I saw that yeah, it's 50. If n was let's say 10, so I think 10 factorial will be sufficient. I don't know of 20. Uh, I don't think that 20 factorial will work because in after 10 factorial it's 11 into 12 into 13, so all are at least 10, so 10 to the power 10 operations not possible. Okay, so yeah, then I realized that greedy won't work. Now what can we do? I hope my screen was visible. Okay, so now I will share my whiteboard. Wait a bit. So I will ask you one question. Let's say that you have, okay, so let me have this pen. Okay. Let's say you have 3 points, I, J, and K. Okay. So, okay, let's forget about it first. Let's say you have two indices, I and J. Okay. So, and it's given that I is less than J. So, can you move from I plus 1 to J minus 1? And for each point, K, let's say that it is K, you tell me the minimum, what I should say. Okay. I will, you know, make a diagram, and then I think that you will understand what I'm trying to say. So this is the polygon that I'm trying to make. Okay, polygon is not very good. I let's say that this is some point I and this is some point J, and K is any point which is between this I and J. Okay, I'm talking about this. Now let's say that this is K. So if you choose this as your triangle, in how many parts your whole polygon will be divided? Okay, exclude this for now. For now, exclude this because we are just talking about points between I and J. So you will have a left polygon, which is this. Okay, and you will have your right polygon, and then you will have your triangle. And answer of this, you know very well. Okay, so let me ask you one thing. If you know the answer of right polygon, and if you know the answer of left polygon, and what is the answer of left polygon? When I say answer, I mean that you know the minimum score you will have in this left polygon, and minimum score you will have in this right polygon. This is this is what I'm trying to say when I say answer of left polygon. Okay, so can I say that let's say that dp of left polygon, okay, not dp, answer of left polygon means minimum score, minimum score of the polygon if it is covering points from I to k, from I to k. Okay, so from I to k it is covering 1 2 3 4 5 6 points. Okay, so if you know the answer of this, and if you know the answer of your uh, right, which is from k to j, from k to j, and from I to k, this is your left polygon and this is your right polygon. So if you know the answer of this, then you also know the answer of this triangle. Okay, because it's directly values I into values k into values j. Okay, you know the values of these three. So will you able to find answer? Because you are choosing I, k, and j. And if you can find value of left polygon, value of right polygon, so you know the answer of I to j. Okay, and when I say I to j, it means k can be any point from I plus 1 to j minus 1. So if you have to find the answer from I to j, from, if you have to find answer from I to j, can I say that you iterate your k from I plus 1 to j minus 1, and for each k you calculate the answer for left and right and then add your triangle, and minimum of those will be your score from I to j. Okay, so I hope that you are getting what I'm trying to say. Okay, and uh, I think in this video only I will, tell 4 steps of solving any DP problem. And if you master these 4 steps, trust me, you can do any DP question. Will tell you. The most important thing is define DP state. Okay. Second step is, okay. Before going to second step, I will explain you what this mean. DP state. So when you say DP of I, you should know what DP of I mean. You cannot just say, yeah, DP of I. It's pointless. When I say DP of ij, you should know what DP of ij represents. Okay. So that's the meaning of DP state. And when you have this DP state, then you need to find transition, DP transition. It means the formula to calculate DP of ij. Then you will have to find the base case, which means what is the lowest such sub problem whom answer you know. Okay, so there might be some very like the smallest problem whose answer you know. So that's the base case, and then the final sub problem. If you have calculated all DP states, then what will be your final answer? So final sub problem. So for this question, our DP state is DP of ij, and it defines minimum score of a polygon from I to j. Okay. Now what is our DP transition? I will say DP of ij is equal to DP, not DP, values of I into values of k, which is the middle point from I plus 1 to j minus 1, into values of j, which is the end point. Okay, plus dp of I k plus dp of k j. Now, did you get what I'm trying to say here? dp of I k is this thing. dp of I k means minimum score when you choose the starting point as I and end point as k. And dp of kg means minimum point when you choose this as your starting point and this as your ending point. So basically minimum score of this polygon plus minimum score of this polygon plus values of I into values of k into values of j. And you and your k values is from I plus 1 to j minus 1. Okay. Did you get what I'm trying to say here? This is your DP transition. Now, what is your base case? Can you have answer for two such points, I and j, such that I plus 1 is equal to j? And I mean that two consecutive points. No, you cannot make a triangle. So this will be 0. Okay. And let's say I plus 2 is equal to j, which means that there are 3 points. So you know the answer of it. It's just multiplication of those 3 points. Now, what will be your final sub problem? can I say dp of 0 and minus 1? dp of 0 and minus 1 will be your final problem. Why? Because I want to get the final answer of a polygon which starting point is 0 and end point is n minus 1. That is my final sub problem, because that way I will have the area of whole like not area, I will have the minimum score of the whole polygon. So okay, this is the solution. Now I will get into the code. Okay, before going to the code, how will I calculate answers? First, I will start with length is equal to 3, which means that suppose that length of your polygon is 3. So I will calculate length of all those polygons. Let's say we have point A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. So first I will calculate length polygons of length 3. Okay, like this. I think you're getting. And it will be values A into values B into values C. Okay, for this, the answer will be values B into values C into values D. Okay, this is our base case. Okay, now then I will go to length is equal to 4. And finally, I will go to length is equal to n. And with this will be my answer. Okay, so when I go to length 4, I will have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So I will go to length is equal to 4. And now I'll have to find the minimum score of this length. And trust me, I can find it. Why? Because my K will go from B to C. Okay. And if my K is here, then I know that I have to calculate score for this polygon and then this polygon. So for length 2, answer is 0. You know, okay, there's no second option for this. And for 3, we have already calculated. Okay, so you will have the answer for length is equal to 4. Now, let's say I'm talking about length is equal to 5. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And let's suppose that I'm talking about this. And let's say that this is our K. So you have to calculate the area of, sorry, minimum score of this polygon, and then A, B, A, C, E. Okay, these 3 points, which is the area of the triangle. Sorry, why I'm saying area, which is the score of the triangle, and values A into L, value C into value E. So you can easily calculate it because the score for length is equal to 3. You already calculated it. So you know how from length is equal to 3, we are gradually moving to length is equal to 4, then 5, and we are able to calculate it. This is called tabulation. And that's the best way to approach any DP problem. I never follow recursive solutions. Never. Because you know you are not going to the crux of the problem when you use recursions. You are leaving things on recursive solutions. You just trust recursion that it will do the solution for you. But when you solve using tabulation, you know how your final answer was calculated, how much hard work your array did to find the final answer. So that's why you will have more good understanding of DP if you use tabulation. So now I will share my screen code. Okay, so this is the code, and it was hidden because I didn't want you to see. So this is your size of value. Now you create a 2D DP. Okay, and initially I initialize the value of value to be 0 for like all ij. Now I start with length is equal to 3, which will go up till length is equal to n. This is my starting index. I is equal to 0, I plus len minus 1 less than n. Okay, I think this is very easy to understand, because if you are 0 and your length of the polygon is 3, so you will go from 0 to 0 plus 3 minus 1, 2. Okay. Oh, sorry, not what I was saying. So 0 plus 3 minus 1, 2, and this must be less than n. Okay. And this is your endpoint, which is I plus len minus 1, and dp of I is equal to int max. Okay. So I have initialized it to the max because I'll have to calculate the minimum. If I already choose it to be 0, then I will always get 0 as my answer. And k, it goes from I plus 1 to j minus 1. Okay. K is the middle thing. Now, this is your score. Values I into j into k plus dp of ik. Okay. Plus dp of kj, as I told. Okay. You will have this. This is your left polygon. Left polygon score. And this is your right polygon score. Okay. And the dp of ij is minimum dp of ij comma score. Okay. So I think this was, I think you are clear with the solution. Now I will go with length is equal to 4, and since I have calculated answers for length is equal to 3, I will have uh, I will find it easily. The answer for length is equal to 4 also, and then 5, 6, and so on. So that is my solution. I hope you understood the solution, and if you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment box.